79 years. That's how long it took me to understand a mistake I made in 30 seconds. 30 seconds. One conversation, one wrong sentence, and I spent the next decade paying for it in silence. My son didn't call me for 4 years. My daughter, even longer. And for most of that time, I told myself they were the problem. That I had done everything right. That I had nothing to apologize for. I was wrong about all of it. My name is Raymond. For 41 years, I put heat in other people's homes. Furnaces, boilers, pipes inside the walls. I could walk into a freezing house in January and have a whole family warm by supper time. Funny thing to be good at, when you think about how cold my own house was. Let me go back, because this doesn't start with me. Nothing like this ever starts with the man sitting in the chair. It starts before him, usually a generation back. My father worked the rail yard his whole life. Came home every night, tired and silent. I don't remember him putting a hand on my shoulder. Not once. Not for anything. I don't remember hearing the words, "I love you," from that man. Not from him, not from my mother. Nobody said things like that in our house. You worked. You provided. You didn't complain. That was love. Nobody showed me anything different. I was 9 years old when I brought home a certificate from school. I'd won something, I don't even remember what now. But I was proud enough that I ran the whole way home. I held it up to him at the kitchen table. He looked at it for about 2 seconds, nodded once, went back to his newspaper. That was the whole thing. That was the entire moment. I stood there with that piece of paper in my hand. And something in me just filed it away quietly. This is what love looks like. A man provides. A man doesn't say the soft things. That's not what men do. Nobody ever showed me different. So when I had my own, Daniel first, then Karen 2 years behind him, I gave them exactly what I knew how to give. A roof that never leaked. Food on the table every single night. Shoes that always fit. I worked 6 days a week so they'd never go without. In my mind, that was love. I was absolutely certain of it. What I didn't give them, I didn't even know I was supposed to. Here is where it all went wrong, and I want you to listen carefully, because it's so small you could walk right past it. 30 seconds. That's all it took. Daniel came to me when he was 23 years old. I'd built the company up by hand. 30 years of my back, my name painted on the side of the truck. I built it for him, to hand over one day, so he'd have something real. And he sat across from me at this table and said he wanted to be a school teacher. I didn't yell at him. I almost wish I had. Yelling is at least something you can answer. No, I went quiet, cold. I looked at him and said, "Do what you want. Just don't come crying to me when it doesn't work out." And I turned around and walked into the garage. 30 seconds. That was the entire conversation. I never told him I was proud of him for knowing his own mind. I never told him a man ought to do work that means something. I just made my own son feel like he'd let me down. And I left that sitting between us for years. A few years after that, Karen married a man I didn't care for. And instead of keeping my mouth shut like a wiser man would have, I told her so. At her own kitchen table, I told her she was making a mistake. You don't do that. I know that now. You don't get to choose who your children love. And every single time there was a chance to fix any of it, a birthday, a holiday, the phone sitting right there in front of me, I told myself the same thing. The phone works both ways. I must have said that sentence 10,000 times over the years. It felt like dignity. It felt like standing on principle. I was not going to chase after my own children, but it wasn't dignity. It was pride. And there is a difference between those two things that I did not understand until it was almost too late. Dignity is what you keep when you've done the right thing. Pride is what you hide behind when you haven't. The phone works both ways. I want you to hear that sentence and really sit with it, because I believe it has ended more families than anger ever has. Quietly, one season at a time. For a long while, we didn't fall apart completely. And you know why? One reason only: Eleanor. My wife was the bridge. She made the calls when I was too proud to pick up the phone. She kept the Sunday dinners going. She'd hold the receiver out toward me and say, "Ray, just say something nice." Sometimes I would, 2 or 3 words, then I'd hand it back to her. She carried this whole family with her bare hands, year after year, and I let her do it, because it was easier than changing. Then Eleanor got sick, and 11 years ago this spring she passed. Here is the thing nobody warns you about, the thing I wish somebody had told me. When she went, the bridge went with her. The calls had never really been for me. They were for Eleanor. I was just the man sitting in the house she kept together. Once she was gone, there was no reason for that phone to ring. And slowly, quietly, it stopped. Weekly calls became monthly. Monthly became holidays only. And then one year, Thanksgiving came and the phone didn't ring at all. I sat in this chair and I watched it get dark outside the window. And I told myself they were probably busy. I still didn't pick it up. God help me, even then. I have grandchildren I've met maybe twice in my life. There's a little girl, Daniel's youngest. About a year ago, I realized I didn't know her name. I had to ask my neighbor, the woman who lives 2 doors down. I learned my own granddaughter's name from someone who isn't even family. That is the bill, friends. That is what pride costs when you carry it for 40 years. It doesn't take your money. It takes the only people who are ever going to be standing beside your bed at the very end. I always believed I'd been a good father because I was a good provider. I kept that distinction alive in my mind for decades. But providing for someone and loving someone where they can actually feel it, those are not the same thing. They are not even close to the same thing. My kids never doubted I'd keep the lights on. They doubted that I was glad they existed. And that is not because they were difficult to love. It is because I never once learned how to show it. I learned from my father, and I handed it straight down to them like it was the family trade. I became the cold man I swore as a boy I would never be. It took me 79 years to understand what I did wrong. I did it in 30 seconds. About 6 months ago, I did the thing I should have done 10 years earlier. I picked up the phone. My hands were shaking. I called Daniel. When he answered, I didn't explain myself. I didn't bring up the business or the old arguments or any of it. I just said, "Son, I'm sorry. I love you. I should have told you that a long, long time ago." There was a long silence on the line. Then I heard my boy, a grown man, 50 years old, start to cry. "We're not fixed. I want to be honest with you because honesty is about the only thing I've got left to give at this age. 4 years of silence doesn't undo itself in one phone call. Some doors don't open all the way back, no matter how hard you lean on them. I have to live with that. I will live with that for the rest of whatever time I have left. But we're talking." He came by last month. He brought the little girl with him, and I know her name now. So if you take one single thing from an old heating man who got the most important thing in his whole life completely wrong, let it be this: don't wait for them to call you. Don't stand there being right. And don't ever tell yourself the phone works both ways, because that one sentence, said quietly enough, has ended more families than any argument ever could. 79 years, 30 seconds. Don't do what I did. If there is silence between you and someone you love, and your pride is the only thing keeping it there, pick up the phone. Say the soft words. Say them today, while the line still rings on the other end. Because one day it won't. One day that phone works no ways at all. And you will give anything, your house, your savings, every single cold dollar you earned instead of being present, for just one more chance to hear it ring. My name is Raymond. I'm 79 years old. My son didn't call me for 4 years, but last month I called him. And it's a start.